Hey everybody, welcome back to the Sorcerer's Arena. As you can see, I'm doing a PvP match, and this is on the account, the same account that I was used for these free-to-play videos. It's my, I guess we're 10.5 months of the free-to-play, of my free-to-play thing. And the reason I wanted to show you this is because I was thinking this morning, I'm like, granted, this is my team is not great. They're tier 7. Everybody with the exception of Sheriff of Nottingham is full gear 7, tier 7. Everybody else is Shan Yu, the Aladdin trio. They're full gear 7, tier 7. But Sheriff of Nottingham is not. And it's a kingdom team, and I've documented. I've told you more than a couple of times about my affinity, and that was my run against my Summoner's Tower group, and these are the ones I have now. And I see a Bebe here. There's not a legendary in this group, although it's Hades is there. It's probably a little bit easier to beat because it doesn't have Pain and Panic. Here we have Dr. F and Elsa, which is curious. But when I play this game, not just on this account, but on my Dolphin account, the thing that I actually spend money on, I run into anywhere between 3 and 5 piece of legendary teams. That being, and it's, you can imagine the lineup. They always have the big 3. That being Baymax, Hercules, Beast. So that they'll always have a topped or protect up to protect you from getting to usually Mickey Mouse and either Elsa, Ursula, Ralph, Maleficent, or whoever they have as their 5th. But they're incredibly annoying, and so I run a total princess team which has no legendaries, because we don't know Kita if she's gonna end up being a princess. I mean, you can argue that if she is, obviously if she does have that princess tag, she's gonna be a legendary princess. Otherwise, she's gonna be a legendary adventure. Actually, I don't know that she. Because we don't know her tags, we don't know if she's going to be an adventurer. But I'm suspecting that because Milo is that she's going to be, but we don't, they haven't put out her tags, they haven't put out, her, we can see the name of her abilities, but it's sort of like Maleficent's and Zeus's was before they became in-game. But I run into these Lego, and like I say, I'm running a princess team, which is, I will tell you the princess team I always run is pretty standard. It's Merida, it's Mulan, it's Moana, excuse me, Mulan. These happen to be my favorites. But yeah, Merida's, Moana, Mulan, and then the other 2 are pretty, the other one is a tarot character, that being Rapunzel. So she's able to get. You can see here where she is on this account. And the other one was, is you could argue that she's pay to win, and she might be. I don't know, but she's Tiana, and you can see, this is a free-to-play account, and you can see that I can have her at tier 4, Now, obviously, I'm not trying to do that on this account because this account is, you know, I'm not spending a dime on this account, which you can probably tell by the way my roster's set up. But yeah, and so, like I said, inevitably with that princess team, I run into these 29-piece Lego teams. These, you know, 3, 4, 5-piece Lego teams all the time. And I'm actually going to see if I can come up with against one here with this team. Nope, surprisingly no legendaries. I don't know that I'm going to be able to beat this team though, because they do have a tier 8 Goliath on their team. So didn't even notice who the leader is. I'd be shocked if it wasn't Goliath. But you know, when you're down this low, like I'm in the thousands on this account, and I'm on you know, I'm up in the high or in the medium 3s with the princess team. And the princess team, as long as it works really well. It's just trying to make sure that it works all the time is the problem. And you know, sometimes it'll have a good run, and then the legendaries will get to go, and they'll just wipe the floor. Because they have Ursa out there, even if you're targeting, you know, even if you're targeting somebody with like Hercules, and you're using somebody like Merida, a lot of times her attacks will hit another character beside the one that you want it to, and that can be frustrating to say the least. That, you know, you're targeting Herc, and you end up hitting an eel, and so that which empowers Ursula, which makes Ursula, you know, do her big attack that can potentially one shot a character because it's just that over the top. So, and if there was a solid replacement for Merida, that would be great, but there's not. Because you do need a certain amount of DPS, and you know, now that we've gotten our head sufficiently handed to us like this, we can take a look at the princesses if you want to. I do, because I didn't intend this to be a princess video, but it's turning into one, because like I said, that's what I run on my main account. It's my main PvP team. And you can see here, you're like, who's the damage dealer that you put in if you take out Merida? Is it? It's not Jasmine, is it? I mean, you could argue that she might be the only one. You could argue that you might add another heal with Poca. And I've seen people run a 3 healer team with Poca, Tiana, and Rapunzel. And potentially you could run 4 if you wanted to put Ariel in there. I mean, this team has no shortage of heals. But you're not gonna put Belle in. I mean, even though all Belle's gonna do is she's just gonna sit here and, you know, Belle's kind of meh without Beast. But I mean, if you use this, I mean, if you don't have Beast on the team, then this is obviously gonna be whatever. But if you do use this, then you are gonna give speed to your Kingdom teammates, which could be good. And it's, you know, if this, you could have it, you know, this could be okay, depending on who you call, depending on who is called. I mean, but I don't think it's. Once again, she has another healer. She has another heal to the aspect. Now this could be whatever, but like I said, you don't have Beast, so it's kind of like she needs Beast. And then this leadership, obviously, for you running princess, you're probably not running this leadership. I mean, you could, if you did not have Rapunzel up yet. But why would you run a princess team without Rapunzel? And so I don't know. I mean, if you wanted to stay away from killing the ills, you'd probably take out Merida, but where would you put, but who would you put in? I mean, I don't know what Jasmine's like at tier 8, obviously. But, you know, this is where the tier 8 ability is, and it's... No, it's not the tier 8 ability. No, that's tier 9. So this, you know, this I could slot in, but that's only good for Aladdin. This is Aladdin. You're not getting this, so if you use the Specs attack, you're just going to get this damage, only scaled to gear 8. And then Raja, you know, Raja can be good, you know, if you need a taunt. So you would have the Cauldron, and then you would have Raja. But as it is, it's going to be here because this is tier 9 Raja. And so this is tier 8. So he's only going to have, you know, he's going to have 13,000 health, which is whatever. But he's probably going to get one shot in PvP. This, I mean, you gain an evasion and you're dealing some damage, but I don't know that it's enough to negate taking Merida out. And then Merida has a lot of synergy with Mulan for whatever reason, and she has a lot of synergy with the other princesses. But you're not. I mean, in here, Poca doesn't do enough damage. I mean, this is gear 9 ability, this is gear 7, so this would be taking up. This is interesting. It'd be another passive heal that also gives speed meter to your team, and it gives more. So if you did run Merida with this team, she would gain an offense up for a team for a second. And then this, you know, it's a passive heal. It does damage. Obviously, if you have a lot of teammates, it does more stuff. The passive, but you're not going to use Pocahontas in a princess team. And so you're kind of locked to the princess that you can use, because there's really only 3 offensive pieces to the princesses. You got Merida, you've got Moana, you've got Mulan, obviously. I'm a little surprised that they didn't put Vanellope in there, because if you watch Wreck-It Ralph Breaks the Internet, there's that place where Vanellope goes to, you know, the boutique where other princesses are, and you can barely understand what Merida is saying because she's got such a thick Scottish accent, and because she is the princess of the Sugar Rush race, right? The Sugar Rush game. I don't know. But you know. So what I was thinking, aside from the fact that I run Princess Team on my main account, and this is a free-to-play video, keep that in mind. So I'm not talking to you about, you know, anything else. But I want to ask you a question. Would you be on board? Because I think this is a good idea. And granted, I'm a little biased because I am a non-legendary player. On this account, I don't have a legendary. On my other free-to-play account, I run Big Hero 6 with Baymax. So I run 1 legendary on that PvP team. But, and this could be crazy, but what if, I think it would be really interesting if the devs, and devs, if you're watching, please hear me out. What would you think about giving bonuses two teams that run less legendary characters in their PvP team. I mean, are you telling me? I mean, because hear me out. Hear me out before you say, you're crazy. Am I? Am I really? Am I really? Let's say you wanted to run a Mystic team without Hercules. Are you telling me? And without Zeus. Are you telling me you can't come up with a great PvP team using Hades, Pain and Panic, Miguel, and whoever else? Maybe even Queen of Hearts. I don't know. Could be crazy. That's probably not a great idea. But maybe Horn King. You know, if you needed a taunt, you could use Manticore or Oogie. If you needed tactics or cleanse, you could use Merlin. If you needed to spread disease and get that big hit, use Madame Mim. You know, there's Sally, there's Jack, there's freaking Queen of Hearts with her summons. There's Meg. There's you're probably not going to use Phil or Hades on this team. But I mean, I think it could be done. And then go over to Oceanic. There's even more, because you can use Eric, you can use Moana, you can use Gantu, you can use Cobra Bubbles. You got freaking Peter Pan over here. And oh my gosh, what I would love to see an Oceanic team run with Peter and Wendy. I mean, could you imagine? Because Peter's got the taunt, he's got the stealth, and you got Wendy that can make the copies, and then you got Eric up here for taunts. You got Gantu laying down some ordnance, and you got Moana doing her thing, and you got Cobra Bubbles down here. There's a lot of things you could do with this team. In fact, I may have just talked myself into something. We'll see. And then you come Wilds and you're like, I mean, Frank and Lily, if you don't have Frank and Lily, like I don't on this account, you could still do some pretty solid stuff. You go Merida, you can have, you know, Simba or Kristoff as your tank. You're probably not going to use Rafiki, because why would you? Or Hopper, because why would you? But you come down here, you got Shere Khan. Here's your leadership right here, Poca. So you get your Poca lead. You use Mordu as a tank if you didn't want to use Kristoff or Simba, but I think you'd probably be better off using Kristoff or Simba instead of Mordu. You got your heavy damage here in Shere Khan. You got if you got Elsa open, you know, this is not a legendary team, so you're not going to use her, but you can use, so it would be Poca. It would be a freaking Shere Khan. It would probably be Scar, Merida. I mean, and then you pick one of these for your tanks. That's a pretty, call me crazy, but I think that's a really crazy. I think that's a really pretty good Wilds team that doesn't have a legendary. And then you come to the Downtown Heroes, and you know, what kind of team could you put in? I mean, you could run a big hero. You could run a Wreck-It Ralph team without freaking Ralph and just put King Candy in as your tanks. You could run double tanks with Calhoun and King Candy. Then you've got Ralph here for your support. You've got Shank here just to run everything through Vanellope, basically, damage wise. You've got your Incredibles, which would be, you know, good. You've got your Monsters Inc., which would be good. You've got your Rescue Rangers. You could run Toy Story with or without Zerd. You could run Onward with Ian, and you know you get your Sensational Six minus Mickey, which is, I don't, might not be the greatest team. But I don't know, maybe you could get something there if you put Anger in the place of Mickey. You know, you've got your You got your Gargoyles team that you could run, like we ran into earlier. Got your Incredibles, like I talked about. You've got your Korra. Korra's like, I mean, people that know about Korra know about Korra. That's all I'm going to say. You got your Uncle Scrooge, who I'm talking to myself into so much stuff, guys. Let's be honest here. You've got Eve and Wally if you have them. If you don't, it's okay. But you get your Big Hero 6 without Baymax, which you could run Wasabi, Dan, Honey Lemon, Hero, and Go-Go, and that would be pretty solid. I just think there's so much viability outside of these freaking Lego teams that are just everywhere, and it drives me crazy because it's like, do you people really have no imagination? And I keep feeling like, oh, obviously we have no imagination. You know, you could run your Gargoyle teams with Goliath, Xanatos, and then freaking Damona, and then you put Dr. F in for the engine, and then you go with Zurg or Big Bad Wolf or whoever. That could be a really potent team. Got your Kingdom Heroes here, who I've talked about. So you don't run Beast, but you could run everybody else. Run Esme, just have them dance around and be foolish. You could run Anna to give speed away, to give even more speed. Obviously, you're going to use. You're probably not going to use a Kingdom Hero leadership, but you throw Sean Yu in. That's 3. Speeding up these 2, and then you can run either Namari or what's he running? If you don't want a Namari, you could run Raya. If you have Raya, you can run Mulan. If you want to run Mulan, I don't think you'd really run anybody else because of reasons. Here you can put together a pretty solid, even without Maleficent. You just put, you put here, you go Sean Yu, you put Furlough in for what he does, you put Namari in for what she does, and then you might go Jafar if you have her done. If not, maybe you go Mother Gothel if you got her done. If not, you go, you're not going to lose a whole lot going Sheriff of Nottingham. But, there's ways of doing these teams without Legos. Here, if you got Frank and Lily, obviously, if you're going Frank and Lily, then you're probably going Moana. And then for your, if you got Milo high enough, you could throw Milo in there. You could have a really solid team with Raya. If not, if you've got Gadget, there's some good stuff with Gadget. I mean, it's not hard to do. This team you probably don't want to do because of Darkwing Duck. You're probably not going to get a lot of mileage out of Darkwing Duck. For instance, we've talked about tech. Look at all the tech. Are you kidding me? You can't make a tech team without using this bozo. Are you serious? Are you serious right now? So if you're running tech and you don't want to use a Ledger, obviously then you can use Baymax. You're probably not going to use Darkwing because use Darkwing. Everybody else, pretty good. Not gonna lie, pretty solid. Positional 6 we talked about. Run these 5 minus Mickey. You're probably not gonna get a lot of good because these 2 are meh. Summer Chosen you're probably not gonna run, but so did I miss anybody else? We talked Mythical, we talked Kingdom, we talked down here, downtown. We covered everything. So just consider running a team. Obviously I've got my P team, which is Kingdom. But I think I talked myself into running an Oceanic. If I could just figure out more ways to get more Peter Pan. But I think it's really good. Hey, it's noon. You just saw me because I just got the refresh for the noon stuff. But yeah, I'm thinking I mean, because this game is so screwed up right now. I thought, you know, yesterday when they came out with the update, I thought they were going to say, hey, here's refreshes and here's, you know, something new, and they didn't. So you've got time to build these characters up. But yeah, I think I'm going to build an Oceanic team. We'll see. Anyways, what do you think about my idea about less reward for people that run more legendaries? Because I get tired of seeing the same team or a variation of the same 3 plus, you know, a different 4th and 5th. And, you know, my win-loss record is 50-50, and that's with, like I said, a strict no legendary princess team. And, you know, I think there's an obvious way to get people away from legendaries. I mean, just to make them, because there's so many other teams that they could build without the legendaries. And I think they could really discover some exciting things about if they ran a team with no legendary. Because I really think there's some synergy out there that's missing. Because how hard is it to put together a team with where you're going, Maleficent, and then Ursula, and then Hercules, and then Mickey Mouse, and Bebe, and Beast. What's difficult about that? I may have used too many. I did. So Maleficent, Mickey Mouse, Bebe, Herc, and Beast. Where's the fun in that? I mean, yes, they do great abilities. Yes, they have one of the best tunes in the game, but like, it's like, are you telling me you really can't build a friggin' really great team using these guys minus Ursula? Are you telling me that you can't find a place for, you know, you've got Moana who hits like a truck, you've got Gantu who hits like a truck, you've got Bubbles who hands out tactics like a madman, you've got Stitch, you've got Wendy who can copy whoever, you've got Peter who can do whatever if you have him done. But it's just like, do I want to run Peter Pan in PvP? Maybe not, but you just ignore this Club Conquest crap, and if you've got Peter Pan teammates on your team, dude gives Speed Meter, dude gives them Intimidate, he gives Potency per Peter Pan teammate. So you run Wendy, you run, maybe you don't run Captain Hook, maybe you don't run Smee, but you run Wendy, and then you got Gantu handing out tactics like a freak. Yeah. Glue, fix Peter's cat, please. Fix Peter Pan's cat, please. Please do me a favor. Fix Peter's cat. Anyway, I digress. Thanks for watching. Leave a comment. Are you in favor of my proposed change to PvP? Because I think it would be amazing. Anyways, thanks for watching. The free-to-play thing is, I think, coming up on the 12th. I'm not sure when I'll post this. Maybe I'll post this after that. We'll have to see. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Appreciate it. Like, comment, subscribe. Till then, see you next time. Bye.